Hi, this is John Patrick Hickey. I want to talk to you about problem solving. We all have problems. We all have situations that we face. Now, some of those problems are minor things. They're just glitches that happen in the process of our trying to work out a project, whether it's at home or at work or at church or wherever it is that we're doing. We have something that we have to work through. So it's in dealing with that we face a particular issue or problem that we have. Some are big problems, some are family crisis or major problems that we have at work that we have to face. The thing is that facing problems requires us to do a few things that we need to always put into practice. And it helps that at the beginning, when we start things off, we in a sense kind of calm ourselves and think through this basic process. And that is, one, is this problem real? Now, that might sound like a strange question, but the fact is that many times the problems we face are only problems in our head. They really aren't real. That many times we think about what could happen and it becomes a problem. We get anxious. Have you ever had an argument in your head with someone? Those are the good arguments because we always end up winning. We're clever and we're witty and we always end up coming out on top. But the fact is, they never happen. Where you have to deal with a situation and you go through this whole scenario in your head of what's going to go on. The thing is that that's not real. That didn't happen. It's not happening now. So it's not a problem. What you have to do is approach it as how you're going to deal with a particular situation, not deal with it as a problem. That the other question you need to ask yourself is, what can I do to benefit from this? Again, seems like a strange question. But the fact is, as Napoleon Hill always pointed out, that out of every problem comes an equal benefit to our good. That every time we face a difficulty, hidden inside of that difficulty is something we can benefit from, we can grow from, we can find an opening to a new opportunity. I can't tell you how many times people have faced what they thought were crushing problems ahead of them, and inside of that they found an opportunity that they never knew existed. And they went on to do wonderful things because of that. You also have to change the way we think in dealing with a problem. Albert Einstein wisely told us that we cannot solve a problem with the same thinking with which we use to get into the problem in the first place. And that's what we do. We look at problems and we try to solve them the same way that we got into them in the first place. You have to stop and say, okay, how did I get here? What happened? What made this situation happen that I can change that and look at it from a different perspective? Sometimes we need the help of other people to look at a situation and give us a little bit of clarity, because it's hard for us to see, being that we're right there in the middle of it. Just remember that problems are opportunities. Problems are things that we don't have to allow them to destroy us, to cast us on the side, or to discourage us, or to beat us down. Problems are there that can be opportunities. Inside those problems can be the benefit of something we've never expected. Solving those problems, we can come across ideas and techniques that we never knew before. That this gives us an opportunity to stretch ourselves and think differently, because you don't want to think the same way that you thought when you got into the problem. So you're going to think differently. That solving problems is something that can make us strong, that can move us forward, that can help us to learn and to grow. So it's all a case of looking at, if you look at problems from a negative perspective and say, you know, this is awful, these things always happen to me, why does this happen, why does that happen, then you're going to just be in the muck. But if you look at problems from a positive perspective, knowing that every problem has a solution, and that's key. Matter of fact, write that down somewhere. Every problem has a solution. And when you know that, then it's just a case of finding that solution. It's not a case of whether or not it does. It does have a solution. You just need to find it. And I know that you will. This is John Patrick Hickey, and I want to encourage you on behalf of the Growth Center that you always live your purpose and change your world.